are still unsuccessful with women, and no, it's not what you think. I'm gonna share a cold, bitter tasting, harsh truth with you, which is going to sting. Right now, you are not single, you are not unsuccessful with women because you don't know enough about attraction, because you don't know enough about dating. You are most likely single because you're hiding behind your computer screen instead of getting out into the real world where the actual social action is taking place. And I see it every day. Men who can recite every dating theory, who follow all the red pill dating content, who analyze every text message, who debate female nature with other men who have absolutely no idea what the hell they're talking about, and they debate them for hours and hours, and they point fingers. And when I ask them, when is the last time that you actually had a real conversation with a lady that you genuinely find attractive? I hear nothing. It's crickets. So today during this training, I'm going to show you why the research phase is keeping you single, keeping you stuck, keeping you unsuccessful, keeping you inside the house, and how to actually build the social skills that create real results with actual women. In the next training, you're going to discover why studying attraction theory without practice is completely useless. And I'm going to dive into the specific mindset shifts that separate men who succeed from those who stay stuck. And I'm going to give you 3 critical mistakes that sabotage your progress before you even begin. Yeah, you're going to learn why building skills matter way more than finding the one from outside of your bedroom. My name is Rink. Yes, that sounds very Dutch because it is. It's probably the most Dutch name that you will ever hear, even though I have a very nice Brazilian color. And since 2009, I've been teaching and mentoring men, and I've helped thousands of men understand that attraction is a skill. It's not a theory. And the men who proactively practice it and master this concept, they actually stop researching and they start practicing more. And that's when their dating lives transform completely. So, let me tell you about my own painful lessons. I almost wanted to say months, but I actually spent years consuming every piece of dating advice that I could find, because back then I was stuck in a toxic relationship. And I'm talking about the period of 2004 to 2009. My relationship got more and more toxic, and I just wanted to know why. And I dove into learning more about attraction and learning more and more and more. And then my relationship exploded harder than an atomic bomb. I lost my life. As some of you know, I lost my daughter in that breakup. And not because she's not alive, she's very much alive, but we haven't been in touch ever since. And so I wanted to know why, what, and how. And I wanted to date again. So I would plan to go out at 10 o'clock in the evening. But then I would think to myself, but I don't know what to say. Let me just find the answer to that question, what to say. And then that one question led to 5 other questions. And then those 5 other questions led to me scrolling around on the first dating related forums that were online in the early 2000s. And then I would convince myself that I wasn't ready and that I needed to study more and I needed to have an answer for this and an answer for that. And, meanwhile, I was swiping on the first dating apps, getting maybe one match every 2 weeks, leading to boring conversations that led absolutely nowhere. So in that process, I became an expert on attraction theory while remaining completely incompetent at actual social interactions. Sounds familiar? Well, because most guys walk that path. Most guys do exactly that. Most red pill content creators do exactly that still. They have an opinion, but they don't have the experience. Now, let me tell you about two different approaches that people can take, that you could take. Picture two guys learning to drive. So we have guy number one. Let's call him Theory Tom. He spends months reading driving manuals, watching YouTube videos about parallel parking, and studying traffic laws, and debating the best driving techniques in online forums. But he never actually gets behind the wheel. Then we have guy number two. Let's call him Practicing Paul. Practicing Paul takes a few driving lessons. He then gets his permit and he starts practicing more on real roads with real traffic. He makes mistakes though. He, like me, the first time that I got in my car after getting my permit, he tried to back up and park his car only to bump against another car. But he learns from his mistakes. And while doing, he gradually improves. Now, 6 months later, Tom, Theory Tom, he can tell you everything about driving, but he still cannot park a car. Whereas proactive driving Paul, practicing Paul, is confidently driving wherever he wants to go. So we have option number one, option number two. Which approach do you think works better for dating? Is the guy learning everything from red pill content and reading all the books getting better at dating? Or is the guy reading absolutely nothing but spending his time in the field, actually speaking to people, speaking to women? Is he going to be better at social dynamics? Is he going to be better at dating? Because there's only wrong and right. And what I'm going to tell you right now is that skills are built in the field, practicing, proactively practicing. And here's what every successful man with women knows. You cannot learn social skills from a screen. You can learn concepts, you can learn frameworks, yes. You can learn what to avoid. You can learn general principles. You can learn some mindset shifts. However, you cannot learn how to read body language in real time. You will be unable to learn how to handle unexpected responses. You will be unable to further develop your calibration, to calibrate your energy to different social situations. You will not learn how to build genuine confidence in the social landscape. These skills only develop through real world practice with real people in real social settings, in a real social environment. A lot of modern men fall into several digital traps that prevent real world skill building. You have the guy that falls into the research rabbit hole. That was me. I just need to understand this one thing just a little better, only to waste hours watching dating videos, waste hours watching red pill podcasts by guys who don't have the actual, to be engaged in endless forum discussions, becoming stuck like me by analysis paralysis and never feeling ready enough. And then you have the guys who fall in the dating app delusion, thinking, you know what, swiping is easier than approaching in person. And all the while, swiping becomes a substitute for social skills. They have really good skills doing this, but they're stuck when it comes to actual social skills. Texting will replace conversation ability. Whereas I see a lot of guys that knock on our doors that they text whole books. They're really good at texting, but on a date, they only know how to ask these boring, generic questions. What do you do? Where are you from? The very few matches that they get become validation instead of opportunities. Real world confidence never develops. Then you have the guy that falls into the perfect plan fallacy trap, believing I need to have the perfect approach before I try, over preparing for every scenario, trying to eliminate all possibility of rejection, waiting for the perfect moment. I'll just stand here with my beer pressed against my chest, waiting for the perfect moment to go over. But that perfect moment never comes. So that person never takes action because the plan is never perfect enough or it's never complete. Real social situations teach you things no theory can ever teach you. For an example, your social calibration. You don't read about it and then implement it. So reading the room's energy, adjusting your approach based on whatever's going on socially, based on her responses, understanding timing, understanding social context, developing social intuition. So social calibration. You have to get your ass out of the house into social environments, handling rejection with grace, bouncing back from awkward social moments, building genuine confidence through experience, learning that failure isn't actually failure. You do that in the social field, on the actual dance floor, with women, not behind a screen. Your authenticity, finding your natural conversation style, discovering what works for you and your personality, building genuine social connections, moving beyond scripted interactions. You do that in the field. You do that in social settings with other people, with women. The dance is danced with women. If you want to improve your dancing skills, you have to get out of the house onto the dance floor. Now, I want to share with you 3 critical mistakes that a lot of men make. Mistake number 1, focusing on outcomes instead of skills. Again, this was me in the beginning. I'm not pointing fingers from a place of I know better. Well, I know because I've been through it. A lot of guys go out with the wrong, or have the mind, they don't even go out, they have the wrong mindset. I need to get a girlfriend as fast as possible. That's the wrong mindset. That's focusing on the outcome. And what happens is that they beat themselves up if they don't get that girlfriend. Like, for an example, I would go out and think, you know what, today I'm gonna go home with 3 phone numbers. And then I didn't have the phone numbers and I would beat myself up. The right mindset would be, I need to build social skills that will serve me for life. And when I have those social skills built up, the results will naturally come, which happened, for an example, with me, when I build up my social skills, the phone numbers came naturally. I didn't even have to think about it. The girlfriend came naturally. When you focus on outcomes, every interaction becomes high pressure and you become very robotic. When you focus on building skills, when you focus on enjoying the process, every interaction becomes a learning opportunity. Mistake number 2, that's the one perfect girl obsession. And the trap here is you meet one woman and because you met her, you automatically like her because it's the one woman you meet. So you automatically like that one woman and you put all of your energy into winning her, trying to win her over, abandoning your skill development. Now, why does this fail? Because you become needy, you become desperate, you stop practicing your social skills. I've met this one woman now. I'm on a date with this one woman, so, well, this is it. This is the moment. This is me fighting the championship match. So now you become super and highly invested in this one interaction. And if she rejects you, which most likely she will, and talking to many guys every week, it happens a lot, you're back to square one and you never develop an abundance mentality. The reality is there are millions of amazing women, unlike what they say on these Red Pill podcasts. I travel a lot. I'm a salsa dancer. In a few weeks, I'm traveling to Zagreb for an international conference. I know that I'm going to meet a lot of classy, amazing women there. Unfortunately for me, I already have my girlfriend. We've started a family, but I still want to keep on practicing my salsa skills, so I go there. If you get out of the house and you go places, instead of listening to podcasts, you'll actually find out that there's a lot of amazing women out there. So focus on becoming the kind of man that amazing women actually want to be with. You have to grow. You have to dive into the process. Mistake number 3, trying to fix instead of starting fresh. And the trap here is you're spending months trying to win back a woman who's already lost interest instead of meeting new ones. Man meets woman, has a relationship. He loses his sharpness, his edge. He becomes lazy. She loses her interest and opens up her vision for other opportunities. She finds another opportunity. She dumps the guy. That's when the guy wakes up because he now feels the cold and the emotional stress that comes with being dumped. And that's when they take action. You know what? Let's contact this bald dude from Mancademy. Hey, bald dude from Mancademy, I've been dumped by my girlfriend and I want her back. Do you have a tip or do you have a trick? How can I convince her to take me back? Well, dumbass, you should have stayed active in your relationship. You should have still taken action. Look, you're fighting an uphill battle against negative impressions. You're not practicing your skills with new people, so you're losing your edge. Trying to win her back is you operating from scarcity instead of abundance. And you trying to get a woman back who has already lost her interest in you, you're wasting time that could be spent building your skills and meeting a new person. So what you have to develop is a skill building mindset. Think like an athlete. An athlete doesn't just study game footage. They practice daily. They don't quit after one bad game. They use that one bad game to dissect what they can improve. And they embrace the learning curve. Even with a lot of guys, because I have a lot of coaching sessions, most men do not go out there proactively and develop their social skills. So expect to be awkward at first. It's going to feel awkward. You're going to have to get out of the house. Wow, and you have to go, man, that whole 2-3 hours of you not playing Xbox, it's going to feel awkward at first. But expect to be awkward at first. The first time of you entering a social venue, the first time that I entered a social venue after my first long-term relationship exploded, I stood there as a grown man in a bar with my beer pressed against my chest in a dark corner, looking around me like this. It's going to feel awkward because you're not used to it. But you're going to have to view that awkwardness as a starting point from there onwards. And you have to view your failures, for an example, as data points. You're going to have to celebrate small improvements. Maybe you didn't get a phone number, but hey, if you said hi to 1, 2, 3 people, started a social conversation, an actual interaction, that's an improvement. And you should learn to focus on long-term development instead of trying to get a quick win, a quick fix. Because in this dance with women, there are no quick fixes, there are no quick wins. Quick wins always result into fast losses. What comes quickly will move away quickly. Just as fast as it came, it's going to be gone. So I would say focus on building systems instead of goals. So instead of, I want to have a girlfriend in 3 months, think, I will have 5 conversations with new social groups every week. Focus on growth, focus on the process, not the goal. Where to practice? Start off with low pressure social environment, coffee shops, grocery stores, bookstores, dog parks, fitness classes, Latin dance classes. They are super social. Then the next step, attend social events, meetup groups, networking events, hobby clubs, volunteer activities, community events. For an example, I will go. I know the people who organize it, and I will join for a few dances. And I'm going to meet new people. You could do that. If you want to take a little bit more advanced action steps, dive into the nightlife, bars, clubs, social mixers, bigger dance parties, live music venues, festivals. Start with low pressure environments at first and then work your way up as your confidence builds. But look, you're going to have to start off with making small talk if needed with baristas, cashiers, service workers. Then practice making eye contact. If that's the first step that you have to take that step. Practice proactively making eye contact with people in general. And then make eye contact, and when you have that contact, smile. Smile at them. Nod. Hey, how are you doing? Focus on being friendly at first instead of trying to be flirty. And then you're going to slowly start expanding your conversations, asking open-ended questions, practicing starting off your interactions with conversation starters. Practice active listening, asking great follow-up questions. Work on being genuinely curious about people instead of staying stuck in your mind. And then you can work your way up to more intentional practice. You can starting conversations with the women that you actually find attractive. You can start practicing expressing your interest in an appropriate way instead of, wow, you're so hot. I like you. I hope you like me too. Learning how to handle rejection gracefully. And then you'll gradually start your skill refinement. So you can work on specific areas like your humor, your storytelling techniques, your delivery skills. You can start practicing in different environments. And then you start building consistency in your results. Because the better you get, the results will match. And guys, that's why I keep saying, if you're standing where you are right now, you now have the results that you have, and you don't have the results that you actually want. Asking me for a few tips and tricks to get these results, it doesn't make sense. You're here. A few tips and tricks won't get you the consistent results on a higher level. You have to go through the process of growth, because otherwise your results will come back down and meet you where you are. Just like people who win a lottery. They hit the jackpot. Now they're a millionaire. You know that those people always end up broke again? Why? Because their results will come and meet them where they are. Now, if you do want to measure your progress, I suggest you don't measure how many numbers you get in, how many dates you go on, whether specific women like you. I would measure how comfortable do you feel in social situations, how naturally conversations flow, how quickly you bounce back from rejection, how much you're enjoying the process, and focus on a long-term vision. Building your social skills isn't just about dating. It's about becoming a more confident, a more interesting, a more charismatic, a more attractive person in all areas of life. Building your social skills will not only make you better in dating and better in the dance with women, it will help you with better career networking, stronger friendships, improved leadership abilities, and it will help you build up a greater overall life satisfaction. So what are some action steps that you can take to proactively start progress? Identify 3 social environments that you can practice in. Commit to having 5 or 10 brief conversations with strangers, men and women. Stop consuming red pill content and start using those hours to actually start practicing. Join a social group. Join a social activity. Like for an example, you have run clubs. Sunday afternoon, they meet up at the beach. A bunch of men and a bunch of women together, they start running. And then afterwards, they have a drink somewhere. Run club, for an example. You can join dance classes, anything social. And then set a weekly goal for social interactions. And then you track your comfort level, not your success rate. And that's how you gradually build a lifestyle that naturally includes meeting new people and you being social. And that's how you develop a genuine confidence through consistent practice. And that's how you develop or create an abundance in your social life. And yes, I understand, we as men and people in general today, we want things now, as fast as possible, and without having to take any action steps. Because we've all grown up in a very accommodating time right now. We can have everything at our doorstep just like that. But not this. And I know that some men think that this approach is way too slow, or that they should be able to shortcut the process. But here's the truth, man. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been teaching this since 2009 internationally. Before that, I was already teaching in the Netherlands. And what I learned, and by falling into the trap myself plenty of times, there are no shortcuts to genuine confidence. So after watching this, close down your laptop, close down your phone, and go to a coffee shop, go to a bookstore, go to any place with people, and have a few conversations with strangers. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you have the perfect plan. Start building your skills today. Because what you have to understand is that the game of finding love isn't played on your computer screen. It's played in the real world. It's danced with real women in real social situations. So you can study attraction theory for years and still be terrible with women. They sucked at having relationships. They sucked at being social. So you can be that person, or you can start practicing today and see some real improvement within weeks. So stop being the red pill theorist and start being a social practitioner. Because the women that you want to meet are not hiding behind their screens. They are out there living their best lives. And if you want to meet the woman of your dreams, who could potentially be the mother of your kids, you're going to have to be out there. And your future self will thank you for starting today, instead of spending another month researching and becoming more cynical while listening to red pill content. The field is waiting. Your skills are waiting to be built. So what are you waiting for? Brother, I hope that I have been able to challenge you a little bit with this training. If I have, let me know in the comments below. How did I challenge you? What did you take from this training? Follow, share, and you know what, brother? I will see you in the next training.